Okay, so this is huge and I cannot believe it's not getting more attention. But Elon and Tesla just made a decision that will trigger a Tesla stock crash at some point. So we will talk about exactly why this will happen, but more importantly why it's genius in the end, and even more importantly, if I can say that, I'm not even sure that's the proper way to say it, but whatever. Even more importantly, how you can make some serious money off this. So let's get this video going the right way. Well, what is going on, guys? Luke here today, and I want to talk about Tesla and Elon creating a crash event that is actually genius and how you can make money off it. And all I ask for in return is that you just ever so gently tap that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. So as of now, I'm sure everybody knows, but in case you don't, Tesla converted $1.5 billion of their cash into Bitcoin. So how has Elon created a crash event with this move? Well, actually, it's just basic accounting, which means it's completely convoluted and not easily understood at all. But don't worry, we're not going to get into an accounting lesson today. I'm just going to give you the bottom line and a quick example. So here is the bottom line on how Bitcoin works right now on the balance sheet according to current accounting standards. And if there are any actual accountants out there, please correct anything I missed down in the comments section. When the value of Bitcoin goes up, nothing happens unless you sell. Pretty simple. So if Tesla's Bitcoin position goes up, the value of the asset goes up, but you don't get to add that money to the bottom line. For example, if on the next earnings call, Tesla's Bitcoin position rises to $2 billion, you do not get to add $500 million to the bottom line. However, if the value of the Bitcoin goes below the threshold you bought it at, you have to realize those losses on the balance sheet. Meaning, if the value of Bitcoin goes down before the earnings, you have to show that loss. So let's say instead of the value of Tesla's Bitcoin going up from 1.5 billion to 2 billion, it actually falls down to 1 billion. Then Tesla has to subtract $500 million from the bottom line. So using last quarter's numbers as an example, instead of net income being at $270 million in the positive, net income would actually fall to a negative $230 million. Meaning that they not only then failed to turn a profit, but they also had to realize a huge loss. So after 6 straight profitable quarters, what do you think a $230 million loss does to the stock price? Well, you guessed it. It will crash the stock for a number of reasons. Now slow down, hear me out before you blast me down in the comments. This isn't about my viewpoint personally. It's about the viewpoint of large investors and also a lot of retail investors. And I think we can all agree that both groups contribute largely to the huge swings up and down of this stock. So the first reason it will crash is that most of Wall Street still views Bitcoin kind of skeptically. Actually, a lot skeptically. That's not even a word either, is it? I'm sorry. However you say that. I know it's completely hyped up and all the big names that we love to follow are all on the Bitcoin train. But unfortunately, those people do not make up the majority of Wall Street. The vast majority of Wall Street thinks like Buffett, not like Cathie Wood. And guess what? Buffett is not the biggest fan of Bitcoin for now, and unfortunately, most of Wall Street feels the same way. So the move among a lot of people will be viewed as a negative to begin with, and a negative quarter like that will be further proof in their eyes that they are right. And the second reason? Most people already view Tesla as a somewhat volatile stock. I mean, especially when you compare it to other large cap stocks. And now because of that Bitcoin position, Tesla stock is now even riskier. So if there is a bad quarter, they will sell off as perceived risks are higher and more volatile than before. And as we've seen before with Tesla stock, some retail investors will also panic sell too. So how can a move that causes a crash like that be genius? Well, we all know that Tesla is typically 10 years ahead of everyone. They consistently do things that just don't make sense in the present, but when we get to the future, it looks absolutely brilliant. There is kind of a pattern to Tesla doing this. So I believe Elon is completely aware that a crash is a real possibility, but he also knows that it's a massive opportunity to strike before everyone else and set up Tesla for huge opportunities in a few years. And the first reason why I think that is ARK Invest says this investment in Bitcoin will allow autonomous taxi network to operate around the world securely and without the usual conversion issues and fees and all other good stuff like that. So that essentially making what ARK Invest has as a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity even better, more efficient, safer, and in the end, more profitable. And I think you can apply it to other lines of business as well. They have had great success testing out blockchain for transactions with certain suppliers in China. Yeah, they've actually been testing that for a while now. So I think there's a lot of things at play here that are going to be huge in the future. And the second, if Tesla is the first domino to fall, even if it takes a year and a painful quarter or two before a few other big companies jump into Bitcoin too, Tesla will enjoy the gains that will come from those large transactions pushing the finite number of Bitcoins up. So in the end, those negative quarters will be followed up by huge up quarters as Tesla is able to realize gains up to the initial value. That's the other rule with Bitcoin on the balance sheet. You have to realize the loss, but then you get to realize the gains as the price of Bitcoin rises back up to your original value. However, they will be transacting with cheaper Bitcoins than what the current market is using. So it makes their transactions from there forward more profitable than other companies if they bought at a higher price than Tesla did. So how do you make money on all this? Well, actually, it's pretty simple. Do not panic sell if Bitcoin dips and Tesla has an awful quarter because of it. There will be an overreaction if that happens, and maybe a major overreaction. Many people just do not get it. They may never get it until we are actually there, and Wall Street's typical short-sightedness will be amplified with Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So what does that mean? You guessed it, it means you get to go discount shopping. This does not change any of the fundamental arguments for Tesla stock, and it actually sets them up for the future, and I know that this pain may come. And guess what? In the pain, this is where fortunes are made, when there is chaos and selling pressure on a great stock. So you kind of have to have a mindset like Elon on this one. My portfolio may go up, my portfolio may go down. I mean, maybe go down a lot. So I will buy the dip, and if it dips more, I will just buy more. But that is because I am looking years out. So to me, it's completely plausible that in a few years, if I buy on this dip or multiple dips, it could turn out I made a genius move too.
Liar!
Come on.
Short seller, you
That's
freaking
ridiculous.
idiot! You're stupid, but I'm a genius because I have
Yeah,
Tesla
you're a
at $1
genius.
million per share! You're just scared because you cannot get dates, and I get 12 dates every day, all day long, because I'm the Tesla bull, and girls like bulls, not shorts, bulls!
Like seriously, do any of you guys do cybersecurity? Because
I have 76 days tonight for Valentine's and you have none! I'm the Tesla bull! I'm the